Can you tell me your name, your job title, and the organisation you work for?
I'm Caroline Stone and I'm the Work Experience and Apprenticeships Officer at Somerset NHS Foundation Trust.
Excellent. Now, I know that Somerset NHS Foundation Trust is a large employer, but exactly how many people do work there?
Approximately 9,000 people work at Somerset NHS Foundation Trust, and that's within Musgrove Park Hospital, which is our acute hospital in Taunton. And then there are community hospitals across Somerset, as well as mental health units and district nursing and other community services.
So there's lots of opportunities right across the county. Now, I know that some NHS roles are very well known, but what are some of the less well known but equally important roles?
So there are 300 or over 350 roles in the NHS. So if you're thinking of something clinical, so you want to work directly with patients and in their treatment and care, then the allied health professions is worth considering. So there are 14 professions within that. Some of them are well known, so like physiotherapists, but others are less well known. So there are occupational therapists who might help people with learning disabilities go about sort of daily tasks like going to work, or they may help people adapt to life after major surgery. There are ODPs, or operating department practitioners, and they help people. So they offer skilled care and support before, during and after surgery. So they might assess patients, or they might get implements ready for surgery. And then there are radiotherapists as well, and they treat mainly cancers and tumours with x-rays and other kind of therapy. And then within that there are also kind of art therapists and drama therapists who use art and drama as therapy. And if you're thinking a clinical role isn't for you, then there are lots of other services within the NHS. So we have finance, IT, human resources, healthcare sciences, there's knowledge and health information. So there's a library in Musgrove, which most people probably don't know. So there are librarians as well. And then you have porters and catering and cleaning and receptionists. So there's lots of different things in the NHS.
So really lots of opportunities, whatever your sort of interests and skills. Why would you recommend working in the NHS?
The NHS is a large and valued organisation, and it gives you the opportunities to experience things you wouldn't experience in other areas of the healthcare sector. Within that, there's also the opportunity to work with a broad range of people from different backgrounds, and it's a very supportive place to work, and there's a real emphasis on teamwork. So myself, I work with different departments in Musgrove, and I work with community hospitals, so I get to work with lots of different people, and we all work together. There's also lots of opportunities for learning and kind of personal development, and I find that within my role I'm always kind of learning and trying to do things different ways, and there's lots of variety. And then kind of more on the clinical side, there's kind of helping people when they're kind of at their most vulnerable, when they're in kind of their greatest hour of need. And I know kind of most of my clinical colleagues, or all of them, are very privileged to kind of work in that position.
So lots of compelling reasons to work for the NHS, but what are the challenges?
Well, there are challenges in every job, and I think the challenges you would face in the NHS would vary based on the kind of specific role you were in. From my conversations with colleagues, both clinical and non-clinical, I know terminology is probably one of the big challenges you kind of face right at the beginning, kind of understanding what the different acronyms mean and what people are referring to. You do have a trust induction, and everyone's kind of helpful and supportive, so that's something you kind of do develop an understanding of with time. And then speaking to my sort of clinical colleagues specifically, I know that the hours can be quite challenging and long and tiring, but ultimately I think that they find that something rewarding. The work is rewarding, so it's worth it.
Excellent. And what personal qualities would you be looking for in team members?
Good interpersonal skills and communication skills are important, and the ability to work as a team. You need to be keen to kind of develop yourself continually, so your skills and your on professional and personal level. Understanding the importance of confidentiality for patients is quite important for us, because obviously we have to maintain that all the time, and having a kind of caring and compassionate nature is really important as well. Time management, so that's sort of turning up on time, but also kind of managing your workload and prioritizing as well. And then in terms of grades and kind of specific entry requirements, that does sort of vary depending on the job role you're in and what your entry route is. So you might be coming in as an apprentice, or you might be coming in already with a degree. So all that information is on the Health Careers website. Yeah, so it's www.healthcareers.nhs.uk. So you can search on there by specific job role, and the entry requirements are kind of all there.
Finally, have you got a challenge you might set for people to try at home?
Yeah, so my challenge is to think of one thing you could do to improve your health. So I've been speaking to some colleagues. So this could be physical health. So it could be something like, I'm going to go for a walk every day. And then I was speaking to one of my colleagues who specialises in mental health as well. And she said something that people could try and do would be to put together a self-care toolkit. So you would get kind of like an empty shoebox, and then you would fill it with things that you would use. So it might be your favourite poem, it might be some mindfulness colouring, some particular music. So something that you would go to if you were feeling particularly anxious or stressed, so the way you might feel before a big test. So a place you can go and for those sort of like your mental health as well as your physical health.
Thank you. So that's covering two key important aspects of our health.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time there, Caroline, and